What's going on? My name is NFT Flenny, and today we'll be going over something that we have never seen before on Veve, and that of course is digital comic books. Let's go. Before we start, I would really appreciate it if you guys could do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, because it really helps my new channel grow. Veve is still going strong. They're still at it with their Marvel month and with their blind boxes. So this week we got blind boxes for Marvel digital comic books. Let's get into it. Alright guys, here we go. I'm super excited about this announcement. I think this will be so cool and will bring in all kinds of collectors and new fans and just give us something new and exciting to use and play with on the app. So here we go. Marvel Digital Comics. Marvel's first ever limited edition digital comics drop on August 19th, 20th, and 21st at 8 a.m. Pacific time only on the Veve iOS and Android app. The first offering in Veve's digital comic range kicks off with a bang, offering Marvel's earliest and in some cases most rare comic books, starting with the original, the OG, the foundation on which all other Marvel comics followed, Marvel Comics #1. The first ever Marvel comic, guys, in digital format. And keep in mind that they confirmed that you will be able to read these comics. So they will act exactly like a normal comic, just on your phone or on your device. It's not just the cover art, it's not just the art, it's a real comic book. This is followed by Journey into Mystery number 85, which is the first appearance of Loki. We have been seeing tons of first appearances and just first in general for Marvel, Veve, NFTs. We are early, guys. And to round out this week's comic drops is another must-have classic for any comic lover, Fantastic Four #1. So all of these are Marvel classics, and they're all historical pieces of comic and collecting history. That brings us to our first collectible from the drop, and that is, of course, Marvel Comics #1. The first Marvel comic ever. I still can't get over that. That is so exciting. The one that started it all in 1939. That was a while ago. The Marvel's Universe's Big Bang is in these pages, and it kicks off with an explosion as the android Human Torch, in his first appearance, again, tons of first appearances, collides with Namor, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, the Submariner, also his first appearance. This is the first comic book ever published by Marvel, then known as Timely Comics. So when this came out, Marvel wasn't even a thing yet. They had an old name, they had a different name, so that just really shows how old and how historical this is. Next, dropping on August 20th, is Journey into Mystery number 85. Now this one is the first appearance of Loki, the god of mischief. Never before has the mighty Thor faced a foe as dangerous as his brother Loki. The Thor family expands with the first appearance of Asgard, Loki, and Heimdall, again I'm sorry, in this milestone issue. When Loki travels to Earth, the trickster god will stop at nothing to get revenge on his hated brother Thor, including unleashing his magic on the helpless mortals. But as I'm sure you guys know, Loki also has a show on Disney Plus that recently came out, so his popularity is up right now, and we're seeing the first appearance of him in a comic book. So we are just seeing so much historical significance. I'm really thankful to be here for this time. All of these are going for $6.99. This one was published in 1952, and this one has 5 variants and 50,000 total editions. So the classic cover is common with 40,000, the vintage variant is uncommon with 5,000, the hero variant is rare with 2,500, vibranium variant ultra rare 2,000, and true believer variant secret rare 500. So that's Journey into Mystery number 85. And lastly, coming out on August 21st, 2021 is Fantastic Four #1. Now this is also, you guessed it, first appearance of the Fantastic Four, the comic that redefined superhero comics and introduced the Fantastic Four to the world. So here we got Mr. Fantastic, Thing, the Human Torch, and the Invisible Woman making appearances for this comic. And this one, again, August 21st, $6.99, published in 1961, so each one progressively gets published later. 5 variants with 60,000 editions. The common is 48, uncommon is 6, rare is 3, ultra rare is 24, and secret rare is 600. So we're seeing similar breakups within the edition numbers for each drop. My favorite has gotta be the Marvel Comics #1 for many reasons. I like the art the best. best, especially the one in the middle that has all the color. I also like the one on the far right, the one that looks the most different. I think the color scheme and just the fact that it's so much different from all the other ones, I think that one is really cool. And not only the looks of it, it of course is the first ever Marvel comic, not even called Marvel at the time. And I just really like the opportunity to be able to buy this comic for the first time. And I just really see the potential in buying the first ever Marvel comic in digital form. As for my thoughts on these collectibles, I really like them a lot, and I also really like the blind box format from last drop, and I think that it is perfect to do for these comic books. Getting an ultra rare or a secret rare will still be very rare, but tons of people will be able to get their hands on the comic book, the first ever Marvel comic book in digital format. And like I said last time, I just think blind boxes make things more fair for everybody. I usually have a pretty good connection and I've had pretty good luck with ultra rares, but I know how frustrating it can be when you consistently miss out, especially when it's nothing that's your fault. I'm all for the historical aspects of these collectibles, so I really appreciate Marvel Comics #1. I think this is a huge step for Veve and Ecomi because this just broadens the base of possible people to be buying collectibles who at least get interested in Veve, and they can come in at a very reasonable price point at $7 and still have the chance to get something that will flip for probably thousands. I don't want to speculate on price action because the market's been kind of weird, but I would speculate that a secret rare with how few editions there are would go for over 1,000 gems. So it gives everyone a chance, and it gives new people, without having to drop a lot of their own money into something that they're not so sure about, they can come in with a small amount that almost everyone is very comfortable with. If they just buy one, $7, most people have $7 to spare. So like I said last time, for the low price on the Marvel Mighties, it'll be a really good way for new people, especially Marvel fans, to get their foot in the door of Veve and just get them on the app, because once people get in, they're usually hooked. Another reason I think it'll be huge for the growth of Veve and Ecomi is because of the content, because of it being a comic book. So as we've seen, 2D posters in the past on Veve haven't done so well in terms of a flipping standpoint. You might think that this will be the same thing, but I would argue that this is much different than a 2D poster because it's interactive and is readable. So with the posters, I still have the full Ultraman 2D poster set. I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying they just look cooler and more crisp in AR, but these comic books have an actual utility, and it's more than just the cover page. Not only that, I would say that there are more comic book readers than there are collectible collectors. There are tons of people who are just fans of Marvel, just fans of comic books in general, that don't want to spend tons of money collecting or investing. So this will bring more people in who genuinely want to use the product and not just have it to show off or as an investment. I wanted to show you guys a tweet from Veve Collects on Twitter. They say, anything to consider about these comics is that you don't have to stress about them being counterfeit. If I went to look for the physical ungraded versions of these, I'd have a hard time trying to verify them. And that's a great point. And that is why I love digital collecting in general so much, because it's verified by the blockchain, it can't get lost, stolen, or damaged, and you can take your whole collection in your pocket. Yet another reason that I believe so strongly in NFTs and in Veve with their licensed IP. As for my drop strategy, I'll probably be putting a limit on myself at about 5 or 6 each day, even though I don't usually tend to stick to my limits. But I'm hoping that they deliver the collectible sooner this time, because I would like to know what I get somewhat immediately, or at least within the next 30 minutes of buying it, because last time I wasn't sure what I needed or what I already had, so I was kind of just buying them blindly, which I might have to do again if they don't get delivered quickly, because I exit out of the buy now screen after it takes my gems. I don't wait around for it to spin and to see the green truck that tells me what I got. My initial strategy will be just to buy about 5 or 6 each day, hope for the best, but I might have to adjust on the fly if things change from last time. Well guys, that has been the drop info on the Marvel digital comics. Good luck to everybody this weekend. As always, this has been NFT Flenny. I'll see you guys next time.